Alright, we're going to get started here in a second. We're going to talk about crypto, so... How's it going, Eric? I sold all my positions and everything because I'm expecting a huge correction. What are your thoughts? Well, if we go over to the Fear and Greed Index on Bitcoin, I know it's very high, so that would tell you we probably are. Last time it was this high, I know we had a big crash, which was about a month and a half ago. But, yeah, I think we're due, but we're at 92. I think last time we had a correction like a month and a half ago, however long it was, I think we're above 95. So I think we could see a correction. But I honestly don't think it's going to happen just yet. That's just my thoughts. I think maybe Bitcoin goes to 60K or something like that, $62,000 before we have the correction. And I think altcoins need a little bit of time to shine. That's just kind of my opinion. I definitely agree with you that we're overextended, but I think in a bull market we can be overextended for an extended period of time before we see a correction. So that's my thoughts on that. We'll get started here on Bitcoin. So let's get started. Okay. So right now, this is the 15-minute chart for Bitcoin. You zoom out a little bit. So the 15-minute chart is showing a sell signal. I am in a Bitcoin position, I think, from $47,200. But right now, it is showing a sell signal. But the 15-minute chart is a very small time frame. The RSI, though, is looking beautiful at 44. We are still bullish on the bigger time frames, I do believe. The 1 hour chart is okay. The 1 hour chart's also showing a sell signal, so that's where I would get a little worried. So what I think could happen is possibly maybe you don't get to 60 grand. I think we still get to 60 grand. Maybe short term we have a little bit of a correction. I don't think it's gonna be anything major. Maybe we see 45K again, then we continue higher. But I still am gonna go with the assumption that we get to 60 grand before we see any major correction for Bitcoin, and altcoins probably have another 2 or 3 weeks to shine. I think at least into early March, altcoins are gonna have their rally. This is gonna be the 4 hour chart on Bitcoin. You do have a sell from a little bit ago, but overall, I'm still pretty bullish. Now, like I said, the smaller time frames might play out a little bit, but I think the larger time frames are still bullish for the medium term. So my target's 60K on Bitcoin before we maybe have a correction back down to 35 or 40K. That's kind of what I think will happen, because the RSI is still pretty low on. I mean, the 6 hour RSI is still at 67, which is not overbought yet. It is bought, but it's not overbought. Moving averages are very, very bullish on the bigger time frame still, so I wouldn't be worried just yet about a correction, at least not a major one. I have XLM right here. We're going to do Ethereum, and then we'll go over to XLM. So the 15-minute chart, wow, I think we're making new all-time highs. The all-time high from today was 1868, so that's looking pretty good. We're basically all-time highs right now. 15-minute chart is looking fine. RSI is definitely getting overbought. Not on the smaller time frames, like on the 15-minute time frame, we're at 60 on the RSI. That's not overbought. If we go to the 4 hour chart just to see, I mean, this is the 4 hour, and it's gone basically straight up in the last few hours, but the RSI, even on the 4 hour chart, is looking pretty good at 67. Moving averages are still very bullish, and you don't really have any sell signals, at least recently. So I think Ethereum's looking even better than Bitcoin, actually. Now, this is maybe an issue here, though. On the 6 hour chart, you do have a sell. So you do have support at 1700. You might have a little bit lower, but when I looked yesterday, the only support was 1700. At least the closest support was 1700. I would say, though, there could be a little bit of a pullback. Maybe you get up to, a little bit higher, 1900, and then you see a pullback, but the 6 hour chart does have a sell signal. That's definitely not good. RSI is, though, still below 72, which would have been overbought. So you're bought on the RSI, but not overbought. So I think you could see maybe $1,900, get rejected at $1,900, come back down to, $1,800 or $1,700, and then continue to 2 grand. I think within 3 or 4 days, though, we can be at $2,000. Like I said, you can be overbought on the RSI and still continue up in a bull market. But let's go over to XLM. Then we're going to do GRT, and then we can take other requests. So this is a 15-minute chart for, let me zoom out a little bit. 15-minute chart for XLM. This is looking very, very good. I actually got in at 53 cents, so not really a great entry, but definitely above where we need to be, because I know 53 cents was a fib line that we needed to target, so that was a little bit of resistance there. But now that we're above 53 cents, this is very, very good for XLM, looking very bullish. The next target would be 60 cents. I don't see any sell signals on the smaller time frames, at least nothing recently. RSI is looking good at 55. Actually, no, it's at 72, so that is overbought. So that's a little bit, you gotta be worried about that a little bit. But let's go to the 1 hour chart. 1 hour chart, no sell signals. RSI is at 75, so that is overbought. So be careful of that. 4 hours looking pretty good. The biggest thing though I'm looking for would be a sell signal. We haven't had that recently. And on the bigger time frames, we're very bullish. But RSI is definitely getting higher on the bigger time frames. Now, if we go to the 6 hour chart, which is what I like to do swing trades on, this chart is at 82 on the RSI, so definitely overbought. Anything above 72 on the RSI is overbought. But like I said, no sell signals, and that's what I'm looking for. Like I said, I think you can, now we're kind of going a little bit quicker. I think personally you can probably get to 60 cents at least. That's your next target. That doesn't mean you're going to, get rejected there or sell off, but there might be a little bit of psychological resistance. But 60 cents is at least going to happen, and I do believe that could probably happen, within the next few hours here. 60 cents is probably realistic, and I do think this is very bullish. Now, like I said, if you see a little bit of a pullback at 60 cents due to the RSI being so high, that could happen, but I don't expect a major pullback just because we're in a bull market. But I do expect there to be one at some point, just not quite yet. XLM's looking good in the short time frames. Let's go over to GRT. This was pumping, it's up 150% for the last week, looking very good. I hold a lot of this, so I want to talk about this. So the 15-minute chart for GRT right now, you got the sell signal. You definitely continued lower. You bounced up here. You found a little bit of support around $2.10, so that will be support. Let me just draw that in there. Let's go over to the 4 hour chart. This is what the 4 hour chart looks like. You got the sell signal. You haven't actually done a lot since. You never got a huge bounce. You did a little bit here, but you didn't get another buy signal. I think you could easily see, maybe this is going to be a dead cat bounce here. You go back up, and I wouldn't be surprised if GRT comes below $2. But $2 will be strong support, so it might take a little doing by the bears for that to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if it broke. So make sure if you're going to be trading this, I would be putting a stop loss, around $1.90 or something like that. If I'm personally trading it. Right now I'm not touching because I still think it's overextended, but it doesn't mean it can't go back up now. But we'll just see. I think it's a little bit of a risky play right now, but if it plays out, you can make a lot of money because you could easily see $3 anytime soon if it wants to start going back up again. 6 hour chart RSI is extended at 77, but the moving averages are very bullish. So it's a risky play, but if you put your stop loss at where it needs to be, you could do quite well. Although if you're getting it at 235, I would not put your stop loss in below $2. That's too steep of a stop loss in my opinion. But yeah, I would like to see this go back down to $2.10 to maybe to form a double bottom. If that doesn't happen, it's a little bit of a risky play in my opinion. Excellent. I would jump in. I jumped in at 53 cents. Have you tried the super trend signal? Nope, I have not. Let's go look at Ren. If you guys are new, make sure to hit that follow button. Helps out the channel. Okay, Ren. Let's go to this. We'll do the 15-minute chart for Ren to start out. $1.06, getting the sell signal. RSI is at 56, not too bad. 1 hour chart, just so we can zoom out a little bit. Oh, you even got it on the 1 hour, so be careful here. $1 is looking like a little bit of resistance. $1.05 is looking like resistance. It's interesting though because you did get the buy signal right here, and that was at 85 cents. So, but you are getting the sell signal right now. If we go to the 4 hour chart. RSI is at 67. Not quite overbought, getting closer, but still a lot of room to go because, like I said, you're in a bull market. I won't get worried until your RSI is getting above 75, and we're not there yet. $1.06 is where we're at. Now, if we go to the 6-hour chart, bigger time frame, no sell signals, short, so possibly see a retest of $1, but then maybe expect a bounce there because I think we could probably see a bounce. Let's go to the 12-hour chart. I'm going to just do something that I don't usually do. If I can find what I want. Trying to do a fib line so I can project where this price is going to go. But I'm not seeing it right now. Anyways, I would expect, yeah, if you can continue higher here, obviously $2 is next, not right after this. I would say you could probably be targeting $1.20 next, but I wanted to find the fib so I could do that. If you guys have any other coins you want me to look at, let me know. Maybe it's here. Here we go. All right. Okay. Your next line here, let me show you what I did here for this. I basically took this from our all-time low, or at least from the recent low, which would have been 28 cents or something like that. And I took it to where we just topped out here recently. And then it goes above it to show you where the ultimate target you would be looking to target would be $1.60. So maybe $2 isn't realistic at this point. Your next target that you would want to hit would be the 1.09 at $1.10. After that, you'd be targeting 1.30, and then after that, $1.60. So those are your targets to the upside. After every time you hit one of those targets, you could see a little bit of resistance, but that's kind of what I'd be looking for. And I would be, yeah, at $1.60, I would consider taking most of your profits off the table. We can do algo. I personally got out of algo today. I kept a moon bag of algo, a very small one, but I made some money on this today. This thing is going parabolic in the last 12 hours. Let's go to the 6-hour chart. So, got the sell signal. Didn't matter. Continuing higher. $1.74, looking pretty good, actually. 4-hour chart, nothing bearish. RSI is at 85. That might be a little bit bearish. But 1 hour at 67. You got the sell, but that was a long time. That was about 12 hours ago. And that was also at $1.30. So that I feel like that's been invalidated. We'll go to the 15-minute time frame. And again, getting sell signal, so a little bit worried here. Your RSI was at 85 in the bigger time frames, but smaller time frames, RSI is at 60. Moving average is still bullish, barely, but they are. So still looking good. Let me go back and see if I can do the fib retracement for this. So your next target, assuming I did the fibs right, would be $2.24. Your next target after that would be $2.83. That's kind of what I got on algo. So give it time, it will play out. This thing, I think, is bullish still. Now, again, needs time to play out because some of the time frames are way overbought. But if you give time, we're in a bull market, this should play out very soon. I would say within the next few days, we could see at least a $3 algo. That's my opinion. This is my analysis, I should say. Yep, and I also hold Tezos, so let's go over to that. I was happy. It made new all-time highs today. I don't know why, according to Coinbase, it says that all-time high for all-time high, it says on Coinbase is like $15 or something. I guess that's not accurate. I guess it's like 5 something. So we made new all-time highs today. Looking really, really nicely. 15.18. we've had a pretty nice run up recently of this. I've been watching this as well because I bought some around $3. You got the sell signal 15-minute chart, RSI 60, 1 hour chart. Got the sell signal, invalidated that, continued higher. You're looking at 50, so the 1 hour chart is looking beautiful. And I feel like most of the time in bull markets, when it's running up at all, you're going to get these sell signals. So sometimes you have to take that into consideration. We're at 56 on the 4 hour. If we go to the 6 hour chart, where I do most of my swing trades, we got the sell signal, but that was a long time ago. Invalidated that sell signal. You're at 85 on the R side. That's the only reason I'd be worried about Tezos. Maybe short term, maybe in the next few days, you cool off here, maybe cool around $5, hold $5 as support. And then if you can continue higher, that's where you'd like to do. Let me go to the 12-hour chart, and I'm going to start doing these fib retracements because I'm interested to see where they would possibly go. So, with me doing that, your next target would be, basically already there, 541. After that, you could be targeting 616 and 750, basically 755. So, looking pretty good on Tezos. Short term, maybe a little bit of a pullback to $5, but that is looking good.
You're listening to Chill Your Mind Radio.
I haven't drawn $5 of support yet. We haven't really been up above it for an extended period of time, but I do think $5 will become support. I just don't want to draw it as support just yet, but I believe it probably will be support unless we get some sort of crash. I bet Apple does have some of this, huh? If you guys have any other coins you want me to look at, let me know. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin sitting at 47.4. So my entry price on Bitcoin was 47.6, 47.7 actually, but it's just, honestly, I think Bitcoin's just gonna be choppy for a few weeks until the altcoins have had their run, which I think will be for another 3 or 4 weeks. Litecoin just at $200. That was definitely a major resistance. So we have not broken that yet. Yes, we're a little bit above 200, but you definitely have not. I don't think you've broken that yet. Let me zoom in a little bit. Just because you're above $200 does not mean that is now support. You got to close like a 4-hour candle above that for me to consider that support. I do not believe you've done that. No. That would be where it would be, but you have not done that yet. But you've hit your target at least. That's looking really good. Now, 15-minute chart RSI is at 68. 4-hour chart is at... That's what the 4-hour chart looks like. So you definitely probably overbought. Let me see. 72, so yeah, basically overbought. 6-hour chart, 75. Overbought. Moving averages is very bullish. Looking good on the 6-hour chart. Now, like I said, the RSI is overbought, so take that into consideration. On top of that, you are at a resistance line. I would say this, if you can get above 205, then I would say that $200, not that that's support, but I would say that you're probably continuing higher up to 226. That would be your next resistance line from the last bull market, would be 226. So I would say if you get above 205, you're probably just going to head to 226. And then you would target 277, 325. And this is where I drew from the last bull market. 379, 420. And those are the next major targets for Litecoin. But that's all I got today. Actually, I'm now at 55 cents, almost 56 cents, guys. This is absolutely going crazy. Let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, it's insane. So, my feeling on Dogecoin? Yeah, I'm not touching Dogecoin. I think it's had its run, and personally, I think it still needs a correction. We just haven't seen a correction on Dogecoin, so I'm definitely not touching it. If it goes back down to a penny, which I don't think will happen this bull run, but if it does, I would buy a lot. But at this point, I'm not touching it. Maybe 2 or 3 cents I'd look into buying it again, but at this point, it's way overextended, I think. I think $3 by the end of the year for Dogecoin is very unrealistic, unfortunately. I don't even think it's going to hit it all of this bull run, personally. There's too many coins being printed every day, and I think if they just stop printing coins, which won't happen, but if they did, I think slowly it would go up. But especially with all the hype it had, but with them printing as much as they do, it's just not realistic for it to, over a long period of time. If there's not a lot of hype around it, it's not going to go up, I don't think. Oh, XLM. My prediction is $5 to $10 this bull run. I know it's a big range, but I definitely think $5 will happen, and it's all dependent on what Bitcoin does. So if Bitcoin gets to 200 grand, then I think it will be around $5. I think if Bitcoin gets to 300 grand, it will be around $7, and I think Bitcoin gets above 400K, I would not be surprised if we saw a $10 XLM. I'm very bullish on the project. I got in around 9 cents. So XLM and GRT are my biggest holdings right now, especially GRT because it's just gone crazy in the last few days. But yeah, they're my biggest holdings. I'm very bullish on both of them. The supply was limited. I mean, not really. It's limited per year, but it's not limited in the long run. They can only make so many a year, but
Enjoy.
I'm pretty bullish on both of them. I hope I'm right too, because if I am, it's a lot of money for all of us. But yeah, XLM, 60 cents, I would say it's probably going to happen within the next few hours here, 12 hours or so. Not financial advice, but that's probably what's going to happen on XLM. And then after that, let me just do a fib retracement on this for the heck of it. So boom, boom, boom. So your targets for this next would be not going off of resistances, just off of what the fibs tell us from the recent low, would be 56 cents, which is basically, I think we just hit that, 65 cents, and then 80 cents, 77, 78 cents, 80 cents probably. And then we can talk about other stuff after that. I know all-time highs is 94 cents, at least according to TradingView and Coinbase. And then maybe $1 is psychological resistance. After $1, if this thing breaks $1, this thing is going to go parabolic, and it could do exactly what GRT did recently, go from $1 to $2 or $3 in the matter of a day or two, just because there'll be no resistance. It's never been there before, so it could go crazy. Yeah. Well, I entered XLM at 53 cents because I knew if we got above 53 cents, we could go up a little more. So I did that. At this point, it could be risky to get in. Even GRT is probably risky. Now, I think if we get another bounce on GRT at $2, we could form our double bottom on the smaller time frames, and maybe GRT would be a safe play, or somewhat safe play around $2. So let me show you. You went down here to 210. You bounced up. So if we come back down here again and get another dollar or bounce at 210 again, I would say that's double bottom and you take a long there, but you take a long on the balance, maybe around 220 or something, 230, but that's kind of what I would be looking in. At this point, that hasn't happened yet, so it'd be risky to get in there. There's a lot of coins, and personally, if you don't know what to get in, dollar cost average in and buy on the red days. So if you're really bullish on an asset, buy on the red days if you're trying to trade it. In bull markets, usually everything will go up eventually, so that's a decent strategy to do it. If you're not sure what to buy, that's kind of what I do sometimes, at least on the coins that I think are good overall and that I think will bounce back really quick. That's what I do. So if GRT ever has a red day, especially a major red day, I would buy some more XLM, all those Tezos. So that's kind of my strategy I've been doing recently. It's been working. Now in if it's not a bull market, that probably won't work as well. But in bull markets, usually buying the dip on the red days is pretty good way to make relatively easy money. I'm glad you made money, character. Do I do currency? What do you mean by that? I trade a USD and USDT, if that's what you mean. I don't trade to Bitcoin comparatives because I know some altcoins you can trade to, like Tezos Bitcoin, so the value from Tezos to Bitcoin. I don't do that, but I don't know if that's what you were asking. Oh no, I don't do Forex. Nope. I'll stay away from that. What's VeChain at? I don't know a lot about VeChain personally because it's not on Coinbase, and I know that's probably a stupid reason, but I haven't looked into it. It's up 33% for the day. It's at 5 cents, $2 though. Let me go to the charts and look. I want to see what the all-time low was in the bear market and then go up from there. But personally, I don't think $2 is a little crazy in my opinion. It could happen, it's crypto, guys, but that's I don't know. I'm gonna go to the weekly chart and just see what I see. So I guess the simple thing we can do for this is do a fib retracement. So that would be... Now, I think it's going to go higher than this. I think it's going to go higher than 10 cents, but I think if you get to $1 on VeChain, you should be extremely lucky. I just can't see it. I mean, from the all-time low, you're looking at... I believe you were looking well below a penny. Yeah, from the all-time low, you were at 0.001 cents. So if this thing gets to $1, I think that'd be miraculous. We're at 5 cents right now. I could see 50 cents to $1. $1 is probably the top, is what I would say. That's just what I would say. But you have to remember where it came from. Yeah, you're at 5 cents now. So if it started the bear market at 5 cents, then I would say you could get to $2 maybe. But that's like saying XLM has the potential to hit $100 this morning. I don't think it's going to happen on XLM, so I don't think it's going to happen here. But I also don't know a lot about this coin, but I wouldn't say $1 or $2 is likely this bull run on VeChain. In the future, it could happen, just not this time. I don't think, at least. Yeah, it's always a good thing to do. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. So I will be back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time. Thank you guys for joining. Have a good one. I don't know what just happened. Make sure to drop a follow if you guys are new, and we'll see you guys later.